good. So to start, just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Kimmy Brill. I am an early talent recruiter here at Kohl's, and what that means is I get to engage with a lot of individuals for our early talent opportunities. So that could be internships, that could be entry-level positions here at Kohl's. So primarily the roles that I support are going to be our store leadership trainee program, supporting quite an array of stores throughout the U.S. Really wanted to just take the time today to go over a little bit more about Kohl's, who we are, what we do, what we're about, and then really spend a lot of time going over the new store leadership training program. I myself actually went through this program 8 years ago. Yeah, 8 years ago now. Worked in the stores for 4 years and then transitioned over to our early talent team 4 years ago. So now get to really full circle support individuals that want to go through a very similar program I did many years ago. And then, as always, if you have questions come through that you're curious on, feel free to drop those into the Q&A, and we will do our best to answer your guys' questions. Like I mentioned, Jillian here is also a part of my team. She will be supporting, just helping answer any of the questions that you guys have throughout the way. But we are excited to talk a little bit more. So, like I mentioned, let's start with who we are. So really kind of understanding, Kohl's. We are a department retailer. We really leverage a lot of omni-channel experiences as well. And the way we were able to do that is, as you can see on your screen, there's a lot of little red dots. There's also a call out for Menominee Falls, Wisconsin. That is where we are headquarters. We are a Midwest rooted company as well, but you really can see across 49 states here on your screen. There is quite a large national footprint. We operate in 49 states, even in Alaska, everywhere except for Hawaii, unfortunately. But so as you can see, there's quite a few different clusters of stores throughout the entire US. Some of the markets that have a little bit more stores. Really kind of excited to share this store leadership training program because it could definitely be in one of these markets near you. So we will talk about that more, but just wanted to kind of give you guys the understanding of where we operate, kind of where some of our markets are for our stores as well. Going to the next slide, it's just important for you guys to maybe understand, how we got to where we are current day. So we actually started in 1962. Like I mentioned, we are a Midwest rooted company. Our first store did open in Brookfield, Wisconsin. So if you're in the Wisconsin area, I mean, Kohl's is probably in everyone's backyard, highly talked about. If you aren't in the Midwest, we've probably got a Kohl's location near you. So as you can kind of see here, I'm not going to go through every pillar of growth that we've really seen. I'll just call out a couple. So we did start going public in 1992. Kohl's Cash, if you don't know much about us, you've probably heard about Kohl's Cash. That started in 2004. We reached 1,000 stores in 2008, and that is growing. So right now we have over 1,100 stores operating in, like I mentioned, 49 states. So a lot of great presence to really meet the needs of our customers in each of the markets they represent. In 2019 is when Amazon came into our store locations for Amazon returns. If you haven't done it, it is very, very easy. Also, a lot of perks of what that did for us as a business is it welcomed a lot of new customers, maybe individuals that dropping off an Amazon return, might not have been a customer before. There's also, some perks of doing a return is it's easy to do, Kohl's location probably near you. And it also drives you to step into our store, maybe look around. There might be even a coupon going on that you can use at that point. So Amazon starting in 2019 has really helped drive a lot of new customers into our stores. And that kind of goes into Kohl's Rewards as well. We really want to be a brand that has a lot of loyalty, a lot of savings for our customers. You'll see here in just a second, really our values and all of these things in terms of growth, our rewards, our store locations all kind of go into really who we are as a company. So yeah, loyalty is a big one for us. That kind of leads into Kohl's Cash as well. We want to save our customers as much money as we can. And then Sephora in 2021 launched it started at 200 stores, has now grown to across the entire fleet of stores. There's really only a handful of stores that don't have a Sephora at Kohl's, but similar to Amazon joining Kohl's, it has driven a lot of new customers into the stores. If you think about Kohl's and kind of our, customers that we've typically had can be, middle-aged women. Kohl's Sephora in that partnership has welcomed a lot of new younger customers, diverse customers, and we're really excited about that partnership and what it has done. So 2021 feels like forever ago now that we're in 2026. So what have we been up to since then? We have launched different formats of stores. So there is a now downtown Milwaukee location as a pilot to see how our Kohl store operates in a downtown location. We've also introduced new smaller format stores. Like I mentioned with Sephora, that has branched to almost all of our stores now. And then also just new ways of, brands that we're offering, how we show up from our customers' perspective, how we're engaging. And then personally on our team, we have a new trainee program. So a lot of new things happening here at Kohl's, and just wanted to share kind of a background of how we got to where we are today. Also important just to really share with you all of our value statement and what we really stand for here at Kohl's. And you really do see that in, how we show up on a day-to-day basis. Even if you see commercials about us, even if it maybe isn't the first thought about Kohl's, you really do feel this purpose statement that is here on your screen. So here at Kohl's, our main purpose and mission statement here is to take care of families' realest moments. Like I was mentioning, from an advertising perspective, you even think about the brands and products that we carry. We really want to take care of families' realest moments, from those having and welcoming a new baby into the family, or those, moving out, going to college, back to school. Like, these are things that we really do leverage and want to take care of the family's realest moments. Even Kohl's mom, if you've seen Ellie Kempner from The Office, is Kohl's mom, and she's done a fun, different marketing campaigns, and even had, some professional basketball players in these different advertisements. So a lot of great new ways we are engaging with customers. And this statement here is how we root ourselves. It's how we make business decisions. It's how we show up every single day. And really, even from our standpoint here on the recruitment side of how we can take care of families' realest moments. And that is, finding individuals, potentially roles here at Kohl's, so they can, really focus on family and care as well. Kind of a deeper dive into this specifically, looking at care. We really have broken it out in terms of values and then behaviors that we use to back up these four different value statements here. So we've broken up care to the different acronyms. So for the C, we do really focusing on customer first. We want to win together. So the decisions that we make, we really have that customer first mindset in everything that we do. We also want to be accountable. We really want to take ownership of our decisions. We want to be resourceful and be always open to learning continuously. And then we also want to be someone that's empathetic and always seeking to understand. So you will see a lot of the ways how we show up. Marketing, how we show up in the stores, maybe what it feels like when you're shopping with us, even hiring. You really will want to see care coming out in all of the different stages of how you might be engaging with Kohl's. So I have shared a little bit about who we are, what we do, but really want to take a little bit more time to go over this new store leadership trainee program. So we will here in the next couple of slides go over, what it is, what you're doing, who qualifies. Feel free on our Way Up site. You can see our opportunities. There's a lot of different ones based on the different markets that we have. And then also on our Kohl's Careers website, you can definitely see this opportunity listed there as well. So right now in where we stand, so this is a new program to us. There's been different, versions of it. We used to, if you're familiar, we had a leadership internship program. We used to have a trainee program. So this is our new and improved trainee program. Essentially, the goal of this opportunity is to find future assistant store manager talent to fill our needs within the stores. So as far as timing and what you can expect, so for 2026, so this year, we have 3 separate start dates. Mid-March, mid-May, and end of July are the different start dates for this opportunity. Where it takes place, like I kind of mentioned with that national footprint map, it is kind of in the main metro market areas. If you do look through our Way Up opportunities and on our Kohl's Career site, you can see if there is an opportunity in kind of a market where you might be located. It is limited based on, hiring needs and where we are looking for this talent, but there are a lot of opportunities. And we are interviewing candidates right now for our March cohorts, and then we'll pick up more interviews in the spring for our May and July cohorts. So a little bit more on the timing. It is an 8-week program that really, helps you understand who we are, what we do, how to, really train and become someone that could be a future leader for us in that assistant store manager capacity. This opportunity is full-time, so it is 40 hours a week for those 8 weeks. As far as the schedule, it is retail, so it is not going to be your typical Monday to Friday. We do require anyone going through the program have open availability. As you may work weekends, the shifts themselves are going to vary each week just based on what you're focusing on from a training perspective, what's happening within the store. So, for example, you could maybe be a part of, from a training perspective, you want to maybe be a part of a truck, which is how we receive our merchandise into our stores. Those typically operate early mornings. You want to kind of unload, get the merchandise out on the sales floor before the store opens. So you might be working a really early shift there. Also, closing the store down with a leader. You might be in the stores until 9 or 10 p.m. And then really anything in between could also be up on your schedules as well. So there is flexibility, of course. We do definitely work closely with our store leaders if there's like accommodations, anything that you're needing, but we do require full-time open availability for the position. Looking at some qualifications, it really is for anyone that has an associate's or bachelor's degree or soon to complete. What that means is, so for example, for May, by the time the program starts, you hopefully are ready and able to, start jumping into the schedule, work those 40 hours a week. Anyone that's still actively in school, if your schedule is flexible, you are someone that we would consider for this opportunity, just making sure that you do meet those qualifications of having that open availability. The other kind of qualification there that you see is anyone that has less than 18 months of retail management experience. So what that really means is like assistant store manager type level roles. This is an entry level leadership position to Kohl. So if you are someone that has more than 2 years of store manager experience, general manager, multi-store leader experience, I highly encourage you to look at our opportunities on our Kohl's Careers website for things like assistant store manager or store manager. This trainee program really does kind of lead into those positions, but really wants to kind of foster that training environment for those that are kind of early on in their careers. But we don't want to discourage you if you are kind of on that brink of like maybe around 18 months or so, you do have a degree, apply. It doesn't hurt to apply and see if you are someone that would be qualified and eligible for the opportunity. At the end of the 8 weeks. So this is something for the program. So throughout those 8 weeks, apart from the training guide we provide, which we'll go over a little bit more here in just a moment, there is evaluations and touch bases that you'll have on a weekly basis with your store manager to really assess how you're performing. Are you meeting expectations? Are you maybe someone we could see having great potential to be a future leader here at Kohl's? For those individuals we deem as successful throughout those 8 weeks, we will then go ahead and move forward with offering an assistant store manager offer at that point. Based on where we have roles available at the end of your 8 weeks of training, it could be outside of the market that you typically are living in. So for example, if you are in the Dallas market, there could be an opportunity that comes up in a surrounding market, maybe not in Dallas. So it is up to the individual, those that receive an offer, if you do want to accept or decline the offer at that point. Vice versa, if there is someone, throughout those 8 weeks, we know retail could be new to you, that Kohl's is new to you. If this maybe is not the right opportunity for you, maybe not meeting the expectations we're looking for in future leaders, we will then part ways at the end of those 8 weeks. That does not mean that your Kohl's journey is over at that point. If you are wanting to continue to stay on with Kohl's, there are other opportunities and ways that you can, kind of hone in on some more skills that maybe were ones that we needed to focus on before we felt comfortable moving forward with a leadership opportunity. So there are opportunities to, at the end of the 8 weeks, if it doesn't work out from a performance standpoint, leadership potential, meeting kind of the metrics we're looking for, there are opportunities to work part-time or full-time in the stores with the roles that we have available. So we do have other leadership opportunities within the stores. We do have like lead opportunities, supervisor positions, part-time, full-time roles as well. So just wanted to put that out there as well is, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of the road with the Kohl's journey. There are other ways that we can foster your development here at Kohl's as well. And then that last bullet point there is compensation. So this is paid, of course. It does range based on the location of the store, the volume of the store, ranges anywhere between $25 an hour to, on the higher end, $34 an hour. So just keeping that all in mind. But yes, so this is kind of a original kind of overview of the trainee program. And then this slide here is more so of what you can expect. So I did kind of mention this in the previous slide. So for those going through the program, there is an 8-week training guide. So you have essentially like a binder of weeks 1 through 8 broken out in terms of things that you should be focusing on. Customer service, merchandising, operations, HR, really everything that it takes to run a store. You're going to have a hand in training and kind of getting your feet wet in all of those different aspects. So then by the end of the 8 weeks, you are someone that feels comfortable to step into a leadership role in that assistant store manager capacity. Other than that, we also do handpick the support that you have throughout those 8 weeks of training. Not only do we choose the training store that you'll be working at that has a team that is well suited to train you, give you the best experience, we also assign a coach, which is an assistant store manager within that store to support your development, and then a mentor, which is going to be a leader outside of your stores to really just be a mentor, outside resource. We also give you an opportunity to spend a day with your mentor just to see how another store operates. So handpicked support is another big one. Is you're really supported from inside your store, outside of your store throughout the entire 8 weeks. Those that love a fast-paced environment, don't really want to stand behind a desk, want to get their steps in. This program and working in the stores is exactly that. You are very little time spent in the back in like the office space. You really are hands-on working with the teams on all things that are happening within the store. So from a training perspective, let's see, it's your 3rd week of training and you really are focusing on merchandising and feeling comfortable to, go and set a like display up or something for the stores in terms of a big project. You'll be working hands-on with the teams in all capacity to really make sure that you're all leading towards the same goal of just having a really well set store that's full and ready for customers to shop. And then last one here is that leadership mindset. So while you are learning Kohl's, how we operate, what tools we have, you really are leaning into what your leadership, kind of characteristics are going to look like, what your leadership mindset looks like. We really want to give trainees the opportunity to flex a lot of those leadership muscles to understand what does it look like to be a leader here at Kohl's, kind of how we operate from an assistant store manager standpoint versus someone at an associate level, and really being able to start making some of those decisions to drive results based on, what you're seeing from the sales or from the merchandise presentation. We really want to give each individual the opportunity to lead in an environment that lets you do that as well. And then what you can look forward to in those 8 weeks. So like we've kind of been talking about, it is a opportunity for you to meet a lot of different leaders for the hiring kind of overview for interviewing. You get to meet with a store manager, a district manager, and our regional manager for the region that you reside in. Before you even start with Kohl's, you have an opportunity to meet 3 great leaders. Once you're in position, you are working alongside the store teams. You're going to be networking with other trainees as well. You'll be meeting with your district manager when they come in and visit your store. So there's a lot of exposure that you see across the board. It's also a learning environment. So not only do we have that training plan for you, but really is an environment for you to, jump with 2 feet in, take more risks, see what's working, what's not working. That's one thing that I really enjoyed about going through the training program myself was I just felt like I kind of had a net around me to make some business decisions, but knowing that I had support from the store manager, from the assistant store manager to make mistakes in this learning environment as well. So really, really helpful as you're kind of early on in your career or just seeing if retail leadership is the space for you. It really does offer that learning environment to be a little bit more, hopefully make you a little bit more successful throughout those 8 weeks. Mentorship, like we mentioned, you do have a mentor that will work closely with you. It is nice to just have a resource outside of your store if you feel like you've been asking the same question over and over and over again. Tap your mentor, see if there's different ways of doing things, and then also an opportunity to mentor in their store or vice versa, have them come visit you in your store just to see how things maybe operate from a different leader. We also have an opportunity for our trainees to do a volunteer event with the peers in their market. And then also an opportunity to do a social event. So to get to spend one-on-one time with your district manager, other leaders within your district, to, kind of engage with them outside of the store environment, get to know them a little bit. Because like we mentioned, those that are successful, you will be a future leader for Kohl's. So it is important that you kind of have that good rooted kind of relationship with the leaders within the stores. And then networking, of course, we welcome you all on your first day and do a networking call for you to meet the leaders, other trainees. You also have the support of everyone within your store to really support you throughout your training. All right. I want to pause and also share here that QR code is to our Kohl's Careers site with our opportunities. You can find us on Kohl's campus as well. Kohl'sOnCampus.com is where you can find a lot of our opportunities as well. And then, like I kind of had mentioned, I shared that maybe if this opportunity doesn't align with what you're looking for, our Kohl's Careers site does have a lot of opportunities that might pique your interest based on what you're looking for. And I can drop that in the chat to everyone here as well. Okay, perfect. So that is where you can find this opportunity, other opportunities as well, based on, the role that you're looking for on our Kohl's Careers website. One I will start with is how is the leadership program structured day to day? So that 8-week training program, it kind of is a checklist of things that you should be focusing on, whether there's learnings to complete on the computer of like a video of just seeing how it's done and then doing it out on the sales floor. So based on the schedule that you and your store manager come up with, and also just what's happening within the store, you guys will really kind of figure out, okay, so today's Monday, let's sit down and plan out the remainder of the week. What are things that I'm focusing on? Maybe, today I'm going to be spending some time doing Omni, like processing online orders. Maybe on Wednesday, there's a truck. So I'll be a part of the truck process and really working on merchandising. Maybe Thursday, I'm going to be the leader on duty, which is essentially the manager on duty to answer any questions for the teams at that point. Or, depending on where you're at in your training, a lot of shadowing in that space. So with the training guide we provide, there's obviously flexibility based on, your level of knowledge of some of these skills, whether you need some more opportunities on merchandising or operations or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of flexibility with that. So the day-to-day it really does fluctuate. That's what I loved about working in the store is truly no day is the same. You have customers you engage with, the teams that you work alongside. So there is a lot of differences that you see in the day-to-day, but that's what makes it really enjoyable. Specific locations, I see a question about that in the Q&A. If you take a peek on our Kohl's Careers website, we do have all of the jobs listed by location. So if you want to search by state, by city, in the Kohl's Careers website under the store leadership program, you will see if there's one near you. It is in specific markets based on, hiring needs of where we have them. And then the start dates, whether March, May, or July does kind of depend on when we have potential start dates. So if you look on our website, you will see if it is in one of those areas. So will trainees rotate through different departments or leadership responsibilities during the program? Yes. Specifically, and I don't know if this is throughout the entire company of Kohl's, like if you are going to be doing something in the corporate office, or if this is primarily in the stores. So this opportunity is in our store locations, and you will be a part of everything within the store. So it's not like you are only working in the women's departments, the men's departments. The assistant store managers, they oversee really the entire sales floor. So you have a hand in all of our departments, which are women's, juniors, men's, kids, home, shoes. You really oversee the entire sales floor. So you do kind of bop around in different places throughout the store. As far as corporate, that is a totally separate opportunity. Unfortunately, those in the stores don't kind of go back and forth between corporate and stores. But any corporate opportunities, if you are interested, will be on our website as well. Okay. What traits have been successful in past programs? Yeah, so some of the qualities a lot of our leaders look for in kind of the interviewing stage is you don't necessarily have to have a retail background, a leadership background. We really are looking for those that would be able to, in a retail space, if you've worked retail before, it's very fast paced, it's quickly changing, feeling confident to make, problem solving decisions on the spot, also driving results. So what's nice about the stores is you get to kind of live see the results. So let's say, for example, you just unloaded a truck and you're already starting to sell through men's denim that you just set out. You can go on the computer, you can see the sales for the day and see how men's denim was performing. So we really are looking for those that, can really drive the results, have a leadership mindset, and ways that you might engage with teams in, your school classes or in sports or in previous job experience of how you engage with others, how you can lead others. You don't necessarily need to have experience with like retail leadership necessarily, but really individuals that have a passion for wanting to lead others and also wanting to enter the retail space. New York City opportunities. Like I kind of mentioned, if you check out our website, you will see what opportunities we have based on the different areas. Question in here about dress code. It is business casual. You are hands-on work. You might be unloading a truck. You might be up at the front with customers. As long as it's closed-toed shoes and you're comfortable, we do allow denim. Shirts could be like blouses, t-shirts, button-ups. Really, what is going to be most comfortable for you, as long as it's kind of meeting business casual. Another thing I'll notate on that as well is here at Kohl's, kind of like our mission statement of taking care of families' realest moments, we want our associates to show up their authentic self. So tattoos, hair, nails, whatever that looks like for you, we welcome it all. So just show up your authentic self. And we really enjoy having a lot of different team members and individuals in our stores. And we want you to feel comfortable showing up to work every single day. A question in here. How many people usually get selected for this position per store? So it is based on the market, not necessarily a specific store, even though our job postings are tied to a specific store. It's really based on the market and how many roles we have available. So it could be 1 to 2, it could be 5, with different start dates as well. So it is going to be a little bit competitive since it is about a handful of positions per district. So it just depends on where you're applying in the market, and if there's a lot of candidate flow as well. So it's about one or 2 or even 3 per district. And a district, sorry, that's like Kohl's lingo, oversees about maybe like 9 to 12 stores or so within a market. All right. What challenges do participants typically face and how can you prepare for them? That is a really, really good question. I can speak to my own experience and also those I've connected with after going through the program as far as some challenges they felt for themselves as well. Me personally, this environment, like I kind of had talked to, is a learning environment, but it's also a very different space. Retail's fast paced. You have to make decisions really quickly. You work with individuals of very different backgrounds as well. Since this is an entry level leadership position, it is not like a store manager or an assistant store manager where you might have years of leadership experience under your belt. Something that I was a little bit challenged with was feeling confident to make leadership decisions since I'm so new to Kohl's and leadership. Also 8 years ago, it was like the very beginning of my, professional career. So it was really engaging with individuals with all different backgrounds, people that have been in the store since it opened. So people that have a lot of tenure on me as well. So I think the ways that I really got over that and that helped me was receiving buy-in from the team. So that is by showing up and ready to work, working alongside the teams, showing them that you care, showing them that you can make good decisions on a day-to-day basis, and you're really there to support them throughout, their career here at Kohl's as well. So definitely, the different individuals you kind of work with, getting the buy-in from the business to any new leader kind of feels that way as well. And yeah, ways to prepare. Just think of past experiences where you might have been in a new position, in a new environment, and how you maybe approached it. Thinking of if you even walk inside of a Kohl store, you can look around and see the different individuals that are working, who's up on the registers, who's on the sales floor. You can get a feel for, the culture and the individuals as well. And you can even ask those types of questions for anyone that makes it to an interview as well. All right. What else? I'm currently enrolled as a half-time student. Will this be a problem for the position? I encourage you to apply. It just depends on your anticipated grad date. If you have availability to, work full time while you are completing the program, it just depends on each individual and what their situation might be. So, encourage you to apply regardless, and we can be in touch. Yeah, there are. Oh, okay, so one of the questions was, are there examples of team members who have grown from this program to district managers? Yes, and I can do you one more. There is even regional managers, so managers of district managers that have done this program. So this program's been around 20 plus years. It has fostered a lot of leaders to, really progress their careers and feel comfortable stepping into leadership roles as well. So yes, there has been exponential growth, and I probably should have mentioned this in the beginning of what a career path could be for someone that maybe starts as a store leadership trainee. So, store leadership trainee can kind of be your ticket and way into leadership here at Kohl's, getting to know the company. And so, what this program leads to, like I mentioned, those successful will then receive an assistant store manager offer. From being an assistant store manager, the next kind of leadership jump for you will be store manager. We've seen people jump as soon as 1 to 2 years, depending on how quickly they want to see their career progress. We always encourage those that have good mobility and are open to relocating. That opens up the door to, more stores, more opportunities. So those that are open to being mobile and supporting other stores, that kind of help fast track your career a little bit more. From store manager, there are opportunities to be a multi-store leader, which is our district managers. So they look over anywhere between 9 to 12, maybe even on the higher end, 15 stores that they really own within a specific market. And then from there is our regional managers who oversee certain districts, and then territory managers beyond that. And there's 4 territories that we have. So 4 territory managers. And then below that are all of the individuals I shared. Um, One question in here is food service considered retail as well? So that is customer service. I think customer service is a great way to learn just retail type qualities. You're engaging with customers, you're engaging with your team. So customer service, retail experience are all welcome. Is there a specific date or time period you guys are looking for to have people participate in the program? So those, the 3 start dates are mid-March, mid-May, and end of July. We are starting to wrap up some of our interviews for those starting in March. Those starting in May, mid-May, we will start interviewing probably in March. So if you are interested and have the ability to start working in March, I encourage you to start working in May. I encourage you to start applying now. So we can review applications and get you set up to interview with our teams come March. And then for our July opportunities, we'll start interviewing probably late April, early May. So yeah, it just depends on, March, May, or July, which cohort the opportunity kind of aligns with. Good question. Okay. Question in here, a little bit specific for this individual on their majors and kind of their background, and really individuals that might have a degree in something that might not be related to, business management, business administration management, HR, operations. We have individuals from all different backgrounds. It really just depends on, your passions of where you want to see your career progress long term. From a recruiter standpoint, when we're reviewing resumes, your job experience, what you've done in the past, maybe classes you've taken, individuals that include maybe like a summary blurb of the roles you're looking for at the top of your resume kind of helps us paint a picture of, okay, this person's maybe getting a degree in international business. How does that relate to this role? If you kind of share a blurb of, I want to start learning about retail leadership, I've worked in retail before, that kind of helps us from a recruiter standpoint of understanding, what it is that you're looking for and how this role kind of aligns with that. And then what I'll also say is this opportunity, I mean, we have leaders in the store. One district manager I work for, she went to school to become a dentist and now she's a district manager. So there's a lot of different backgrounds that we welcome. That's, I think, the nice and beautiful thing about retail is there's a lot of people with different backgrounds in school, what your focuses were, and you kind of just found a passion for retail. So there are a lot of instances where people pivot on, originally what they are getting their degree on and what they kind of enter themselves into. All right, I'm trying to see if there were any that I may have missed. Yeah, if there's other opportunities that you guys are looking for, maybe in like the HR space, outside of the stores, I highly encourage you to take a peek at our Kohl's Careers website. I will note if you are interested in any corporate opportunities, it will most likely require you to be in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin. Our corporate office does require a hybrid schedule. So Monday to Thursday in office, Fridays are kind of your remote day. So if you are interested in any like HR, corporate specific roles, just keeping that top of mind if you're not in Wisconsin, it might require some relocation as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I haven't seen. Jillian, anything I may be missing or any ones that come top of mind before we wrap up?
Honestly, no, I think you've hit all of the points and covered everything. Please let us know if we've missed any questions, but I think we've got it all covered here in the Q&A.
Awesome. Yeah, specific locations. You'll just have to look on our website. You can also just Google polls in your specific market and see if there's one nearby that might align with what you're looking for. So as you are looking on our career website, you can see if there's one in your area. So yeah, I will go ahead and wrap it up then. I appreciate you all taking the time to join us this evening and learning a little bit more about our opportunity. Again, you can find us on Kohl's campus on socials. Please visit our career website as well. And we hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, everyone.